Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're looking ahead to the future, but doing it by tackling a topic that, I mean, let's be honest, usually makes people roll their eyes.
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking about transformation. Specifically, we're pulling from a really fascinating set of insights titled 10 Habits for a Transformed Life in 2026.
Right, and I can already hear the collective sigh from the listeners. The word transformation is it's such a loaded word, isn't it? It usually implies that your current life is just completely broken and you need to burn it all down to build something shiny and new.
Exactly. It feels like every time we feel stuck, we just get bombarded with these extreme protocols. You know the ones. Wake up at 3 a.m., take an ice bath, meditate for 2 hours, run a marathon before breakfast.
It's exhausting just thinking about it.
It really is. But what caught my eye about this specific source material is that it's suspiciously simple.
Simple and honestly kind of boring. But boring is good here. Boring is scalable. The big problem the source points out with those extreme makeovers is they rely entirely on willpower. And willpower is a depleting resource.
Right.
You can white-knuckle your way through a crazy routine for maybe 2 weeks, but then, life happens. Your kid gets sick, you have a massive deadline at work, and the whole rigid system just collapses.
Which is really the classic problem, right? Most of us listening, we already know what to do to live better. We know we should eat vegetables, save money, be nice to people. But we don't do it because the actual act of changing feels so incredibly hard. It feels like climbing Everest.
Yeah, that's the core issue. The material we're breaking down today argues that the barrier to a better life isn't ignorance, it's friction. The central thesis of this deep dive is that true transformation doesn't come from complicated strategies or secret hacks.
No magic pills.
Exactly, no magic pills. It comes from small daily actions that compound over time. The shift here is psychological. It's moving from aiming for perfection, which is impossible, to aiming for progress.
Which I love, honestly. It's so much more approachable. And the source actually categorizes these 10 habits into 4 logical buckets. I want to jump right into part 1, which they call the bookends of the day.
The morning and the evening.
Yeah. And this makes so much sense because the middle of your day is usually total chaos, right? Your boss calls, emails pile up, traffic happens, but you can usually control how you start and how you finish. So habit 1, waking up early.
The one everyone loves to hate.
Right. And as a self-proclaimed night owl, I really wanted to reject this. But the specific advice here isn't extreme. It doesn't say you have to join the 5:00 a.m. club. It just says to wake up 30 minutes earlier than usual.
Just 30 minutes. It's not about the time on the clock. It's about buying yourself margin. It's the difference between waking up for your day versus waking up to your day.
Wait, explain that distinction, because I think that's super important for people to hear.
Sure. Waking up to the day is when your alarm goes off, you hit snooze 3 times, you realize you're late, and your adrenaline is already spiking before your feet even hit the floor.
Been there.
We all have. You're in a reactive state. By waking up just 30 minutes early, you buy time to plan, to move, or just to breathe and have a coffee in silence. The source emphasizes that mornings set the tone for your day. Using that time intentionally puts you in the driver's seat.
But to actually pull that off, I mean, if I'm groggy and stumbling around, that 30 minutes is totally wasted, which is why the source connects this directly to habit 4, which is planning the night before.
They are completely intertwined. A good morning actually starts the night before. If you wake up early but have no idea what you're supposed to do, you're just going to sit on the couch and scroll on your phone for a half hour.
Yeah, which defeats the whole purpose. So the specific action the source recommends is to write down exactly 3 main priorities the night before. Just 3.
Which is brilliant for reducing stress. It's all about fighting decision fatigue. By the time you wake up, you don't have to spend any mental energy deciding what's important. You just look at the list and execute. It keeps you on track and makes decision-making so much easier the next day.
Okay, so we open the day with intent, and we prepare the night before. But there's a third piece to this bookend section, habit 9, which is daily reflection.
Right, taking just 5 minutes to close the loop on the day.
The source suggests reviewing what went well, what didn't, and what can be improved tomorrow. I'll admit this sounded a little fluffy to me at first.
It's really not, though. The key insight here is that this practice is what turns raw experience into actual growth. If you don't pause to analyze why a day went off the rails, you're just going to repeat the same mistakes tomorrow.
You're just running on a treadmill.
Exactly. Reflection gives you the data to adjust.
Okay, that makes sense. So that's the structure. But a structure is pretty useless if you don't have the energy to run it. Which brings us to part 2 of the outline, fueling the body and mind. And habit 2 is moving your body.
Notice it doesn't say crush a heavy gym session.
Yes, the source explicitly debunks the myth that you need a gym membership to transform your life. It gives examples like taking a walk, stretching, dancing in your kitchen, or doing a few push-ups.
The physical benefits are obvious, but the source really highlights the dual benefit. Moving your body acts as a massive mood booster. It improves mental performance just as much as physical health.
Right, because the brain and the body aren't separate. When you move, you change your brain chemistry, which is a perfect segue into habit 3, educational input.
Feeding the brain.
Yeah. The source suggests taking just 10 to 15 minutes a day to read or listen to something educational.
And that time commitment is so low, anyone can do it.
Exactly. And I really appreciated that the source explicitly mentions audiobooks and podcasts. It specifically points out that these work incredibly well for people on the go. You can listen while you commute or fold laundry.
It's about maximize the time you already have. And the benefits are huge. It expands your knowledge, improves your focus, and sparks new ideas. You're basically giving your brain new building blocks every single day.
But here's the massive roadblock that the source points out. You can do all this great stuff, but if you're constantly derailed, it doesn't matter. Habit 6 is limiting distractions.
Oh, the ultimate enemy of focus.
Yeah, social media, the endless scrolling, the constant barrage of notifications.
It's tough because these things are literally engineered to steal our attention. That's why the specific action recommended here is setting hard boundaries. You have to turn off non-essential notifications.
Or schedule specific phone-free time.
Right. You cannot rely on willpower when your phone is buzzing in your pocket every 2 minutes. You have to create an environment where focus is actually possible.
Which honestly sounds like a huge relief once you actually do it. Okay, moving on to part 3, which the source calls emotional and social wealth. And habit 5 is one I think a lot of people overlook: practicing gratitude.
People overlook it because it sounds like a cliche.
It totally does. Name 3 things you're thankful for.
Yeah.
Sounds like something stitched on a throw pillow, but the source actually digs into the science of it, which is fascinating.
Yeah, the logic is really sound. Practicing gratitude actively rewires your brain. We have a natural negativity bias. We're wired to notice threats and annoyances.
Because evolutionarily, that kept us alive.
Exactly. But in the modern world, it just makes us stressed and unhappy. Gratitude trains your brain to notice the good rather than constantly dwelling on the negative. It shifts your baseline perspective.
And when you're in a better headspace, it naturally improves the next area, which is habit 8, intentional connection.
This is a big one.
The source is very clear that social bonds are a major key to happiness. But the key word here is intentional.
Right, because just being physically around people isn't the same as connecting with them. Mindlessly liking someone's post online doesn't count.
No. The specific actions listed are things like calling a friend, having a genuinely meaningful conversation, or making the effort to meet someone new.
It requires presence. We are more technologically connected than ever, but people feel more isolated. Intentional connection is the antidote to that. It's prioritizing relationships as an actual habit.
I love that. Treating your social health with the same respect as your physical health. Okay, we are in the home stretch here. Part 4 is stability and consistency. And habit 7 deals with something that causes a ton of anxiety: financial investment.
Yeah, money is a huge stressor for so many people.
But the source frames this beautifully. It advises beginners to start really small. Just basic saving, setting a simple budget, or spending a little time learning about how investing works.
Because the deeper meaning here isn't just about accumulating wealth for the sake of it.
Yeah.
It's about stability. Financial stability drastically reduces daily stress. It buys you freedom. The freedom to make choices based on what you actually want, not just what you have to do to survive.
Absolutely. Which brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. Habit 10. And the source frames this as the overarching rule for every single thing we've talked about so far: consistency.
This is where the magic actually happens.
The key phrase to highlight from the text is this: don't aim for perfection, aim for progress.
Which is such a relief to hear because
Yeah.
people try to adopt a new habit. They do it perfectly for 4 days, then they mess up once and they completely throw in the towel.
The all or nothing mindset.
Yes. But the mechanism of change explained here is that small, steady steps compound into massive results over time. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep showing up.
Yeah, the reality check from the source is that change absolutely does not happen overnight. You won't see the transformation in a week. But it happens if you refuse to quit.
The compounding effect is real. A 1% improvement every day turns into something unrecognizable a year or two down the line.
So to summarize all of this for you listening, these are not complicated, impossible actions. Wake up a bit earlier, plan your day, reflect, move your body, learn something new, put the phone down, practice gratitude, connect with people, manage your money, and just stay consistent. These are accessible to everyone.
Completely accessible.
But if you try to do all 10 of these tomorrow morning, you are going to burn out by Tuesday.
Oh, guaranteed.
So here is our reflective call to action for you. Look at this list. Consider which one habit resonates most deeply with you right now. Just pick one to start today.
Master that one until it feels easy and then add another.
Exactly. And I want to leave you with one final thought to mull over, something that really builds on all this. We spend so much time looking for a magic pill to instantly transform our lives for 2026. We want the movie montage. But maybe transformation isn't an event you achieve. Maybe it's just a new identity you slowly step into.
Oh, that's a great way to frame it.
When you commit to the mundane repetition of these small, positive choices, you aren't just changing your schedule. You are literally rewiring who you are. The real magic hides in the boring daily repetitions.
It really does. You become the person who does these things.
Right. So improve your life one small habit at a time. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Take care, everyone.
Catch you next time.